So I'm not gonna go into too much depth in like team based stuff. I'll just concentrate on you, obviously, with this because it's like I don't know whether this were you just subbing in for these or are you actually looking to play with them?
They're looking to take me on as their player. Yeah.
All right, so I'll try and look at ways you can kind of play around with the little quirks that they have and stuff. So we'll try and go a bit more in depth into that then. But yeah, we'll get into it. It's a good kicker. So, a couple of things I noticed on this. A couple of good things first. Obviously, I know he's still been communicating on this. Obviously, he's gone back on this. He's taken first man, so you're obviously second man. You come in to fill in this gap quite nicely, you do the right thing. And then what you kind of do is the ball goes over to this side. Why that's just changed to that fat, I don't know. And we kind of drift right up next to him here when our teammate's in here. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Especially in twos, it's much better in twos to do this where you've got one here and one here. But what we've got to remember in threes, we've got an extra man, haven't we? So if Jams gets beat, it's going to come back down this way, generally speaking, isn't it? So this will be the loss. And he's going to be covering that. Can you hear me and everything, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we want to let our third man cover this loss in this scenario. Or even if, he gets a bad beat and it ends up the ball coming back behind here, he can just turn for that. So we want to let him worry about anything that's in this red in this loss. But we want to, as second man, cover everything that's a win. So if you think about the corner and where it can come, obviously, it can roll around here. It can do what he's kind of done here. He's got to hit off the backboard and it's going to come down here. Anything off this backboard is going to come down here. Where you are isn't necessarily bad, but it's not the most advantageous. Because if you imagine headlights coming out of all of these cars, this is our space coverage, and Jams, I can't quite tell which way he's facing because I'm drawn all over it, but you're basically overlapping Jams a lot on where you're covering in the pitch. But if we look at where these green arrows are going, all of these green arrows are roughly going somewhere in this area. As second man, what I would suggest is just being a little bit more middle than where we are now, from here to here. Seems just a little thing, but it avoids a lot of confusion with Rugi as well. Getting a little bit messy, but yeah, I just kind of obviously you want to be more sort of in this zone, especially if these are stacking up like they are, very close to the net, your standard rotation stuff. This is going to be the biggest threat for them because even though they're in a decent position, the net's still wide open, isn't it? But the reason why we do this as well is if this ball does pinch right the way across, who's going to be first man to this ball if it ends up in the opposite corner here?
It's going to be the guy on the back post.
I mean, on the orange team, so who's going to be the first one to press for this ball? If he pinches it across Jams now as it isn't, it goes across this red line. Who's got to go for the ball?
Yeah, it's got to be me.
Can you do that? Can you do that effectively from here, or do you think you can do it more effectively from here?
Way better to be in the middle of this situation, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be a little bit quicker. So in this scenario, you want to kind of not only cover this mid ground, but this right hand side here is all yours as well. Because what will happen is you push into this corner and take first man. This guy will push into middle and take second man. So then you kind of still keep that one in the corner, one in the middle. And Jams will will rotate around. So you've still got this kind of triangle, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's just a lot more beneficial to be a little bit more middle with this. Which is, it's pretty much exactly what I said happened, goes across to the other side. But this is what Rugi's not doing necessarily a bad thing. You did the right thing. You sort of addressed this as first man in the corner and follow it across. It's brilliant. Rugi's positioned like this. He's got to cover second and third at the moment, hasn't he? Until Jams is back. He's not really doing that effectively from here. He's only covering third. He's only covering your loss. He's kind of assumed that you're going to get beat already, basically. Because let's imagine if you get a good touch on this and it hits the corner and comes mid. It's just going to be a free ball for these guys, isn't it? He should be, essence, covering, kind of waiting here at this sort of angle. And then this is how I've normally taught it. So if you imagine a traffic light, obviously I'm sure you've seen a traffic light before.
Yeah.
We've got 3 colours on a traffic light. Quite easy, we all know what they mean. Red, obviously stop. Amber, we're waiting to see what happens. Or getting ready to go, as they say in the Road Traffic Act. And then we've got green, which is obviously go. So, in regards to Rocket League, how we think of the traffic light system in it is, do we know the outcome of this yet? Of what's going to happen between this challenge between you and E?
No, we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's still a bit of a question mark, isn't it? So this would be our amber light because we're waiting to see what's going to happen. So we need to be in a position where we're waiting to see what's going to happen and we can react. Because if you get beat and it goes down this red arrow, that's a red light for him. He can turn and then take this position. If the green light comes and he gets the arrow, you get the beat and it comes into middle, he can then turn and do that, can't he? So this is kind of what I mean by the traffic light system. So he's kind of waiting to see what's going to happen before he makes a decision on which position he's going to take. Only takes a split second to do. And something like that is why we kind of wait more middle in here as well. Kind of gives you another reason. You do exactly the right thing of coming across. Just if you were more mid, I think you would have beaten him to this ball and we would have had this green light scenario. But then again, even if you would have won that ball, because Rugi's not there, it just ended up in free possession for these guys. Does that all make sense so far?
Yeah.
So this is like, a lot of this is like threes attack. We'll find a section soon where you guys get on defense. I think it's not until later on in the game you actually do start defending. Works out in Rugi's favour at this time, but you do get beat, and it's a good block from him. So we've got a scenario here where the ball's gone high up middle. Your teammate's back in the corner getting boosted. He's still out of the play. Whose ball is this to go for?
Something mine to go for.
Yeah, you're definitely first man on this. That's well and truly agreed, isn't it? So we can turn back in, because your positioning at the moment on this ball, you're kind of in that amber position. You're kind of in this like 50-50 poise, if that makes sense, where we're waiting to go. Him, Jams, if he's a good teammate, he'll say, I can't go for this, I'm too far away. I'm not going. You then know you've got your green light. In this scenario, what I'd love to see, because Rugi here is ahead of the player, I'd love to see him carry on going this way and go for a demo. We'll see if it happens. And then Jams should instantly, as fast as he can, get up middle to support you. See what happens. Rugi doesn't get the demo, he comes out, which is fine. Yeah, Jams is playing very, very defensive. Right, this section's a bit crazy. This is a bit hectic. So the reason being, Rugi kind of plays passive over here, Jams plays passive at the back here. I'll skip this, actually, I'll go back another tiny section. So from this touch that you get, this is not a bad touch what you do, it's a good 50. You're keeping pressure on the play and you're putting a challenge in midfield. That's absolutely brilliant what you did there. The issue with the next player is the follow-up. Jams is too far away from the player. This is why this is exactly why you lose this pressure. Rugi's out, but he's going to come back. He comes back this way. Jams needs to be getting up as fast as he can and try and follow this ball and allow you to get back. He kind of backs out and then gets bumped. You do take the pressure and stay on the ball, which is absolutely fine. But then the next thing happens with a pinch. And Rugi comes back down ball side and then gets in his way and has to do this weird loop. If the ball was coming down this way, Jams went this way. Rugi went down this way. What you did so far has been absolutely spot on, by the way. Rugi should have come this way. Because as soon as Jams takes this ball across, if Rugi stays in this corner and Jams goes away like they did, what's the problem with that player?
You've got no one covering the net.
Yeah, exactly. There's nobody covering the net. It's like in Rocket League, the biggest thing, especially in threes, because we know how hectic it can be, we've always got to be covering both options until we know for definite. You'll see, like, I don't know if have you seen a lot of Flakes' videos?
No.
You never watched his series. Oh, here's the thing where he always says, wait and see what happens, only ever go when the ball's free. When it's free. All the time, he'll say, just wait till it's free. Yes, you can force plays and stuff like that, but his is more ones based, so it's a good demo. Don't mind this, you try and take the play. This is your ball. I don't know why Rugi's carrying on this, to be fair. Jams has got good positioning here. So there's two kind of things. I'll brush over a little bit of defense here. Rugi should never be here. He should have left the play and gone to get his boost behind. And you should be continuing up onto this, which is fine. Jams is in a good position. This is fine. This back end of the net is open. So why do you think that I would say that it's fine for Jams to be at front post?
He's got a lot of time, and we're still both on the ball.
Think of it in terms of where your opponents are on the pitch.
They're also all just in the ball. No one's covering the mid for them.
Exactly right. You remember this when I spoke about attack? You imagine this zone as like our danger area.
Yeah.
If there's somebody in the danger area, Jams would want to be a bit further back, waiting on his amber light, just trying to figure out his question. His question is, what's going to happen in the play next? If it goes into the corner, he starts to creep up. If he gets played infield, he has to try and cut that out from here. It's going to be very difficult for him to do that from there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So as a general rule, if they have a person here, you want to be back post until they take it into this corner, then you can creep up and challenge. But if they've got no one mid, just wait front post. There's no threat of them scoring from midfield. Where is? Ah, he's demoed, isn't he? It's a nice follow. You wait for his touch, helping him out. One thing I would say on this player, this is an okay touch. Once we get to this point, we've kind of lost the ball, haven't we? got a little bit far away from ourselves, a little bit of heavy touch. What I would say for you to do in this is think, right, so we've kind of got two options, haven't we? First option, we can kind of do what we did. Try and boost and get close and possibly try and get 50 here. What do you think our second option would be?
Yeah, drop back down.
Yeah, just let your car drop back down. Try and secure this mid boost. What we've got to think, which direction is Lux coming? He's coming this way, isn't he?
Yeah.
The ball's coming this. The ball's coming this way. Lux's touch, 90% of the time, at this rank, is going to come this way. His position and the ball's trajectory are both pointing to our left. So yeah, drop down, go steal this boost, and wait for him to make his play next. It'll slow him down. It'll stop him from banging it away as well. You do get a touch, but it's kind of like negligible. Yeah, I would have liked to seen you just drop down, grab this boost. He didn't get it, but a better player would have controlled that, or took a touch around you and tried to secure this boost for himself. A little bit of panic from defenders there, but that's fine. I like this turn as well, what you did. Your positioning and rotation so far has been absolutely spot on, by the way. There's only been that one thing. I'm trying to find stuff to be picky with you, to be honest. I like this turn back in, this getting this boost and allowing pressure and cutting in second man. Because your teammate's quite far back, isn't he?
Yeah.
So now, Jams is probably, he's low boost, we can see that. He's out the play, he's going to probably go back. So what do we remember from our play? Why did we cut in?
Ruji's very far back.
It's very far back, isn't he? So in this type of scenario, we've kind of got to think we need to kind of make a solo player somehow from this, don't we? Because our teammate's not in the play. And the other one's going to go back. He's low boost. He's on 0, practically. Think about our enemy positions. Lux is going this way. He's already flipping going this way. The ball's going this way. We're probably going to have to go this way a little bit to catch this. Everything's moving in this direction. He's going to try and predict you to go in this direction. What the enemy is going to think you're going to do, enemy of the team, whatever you want to call it, is probably take this to this side because everything's coming this way. What I would like to see you do in this situation, see if we can get a soft touch or a touch to the right here to try and bring it more mid with a soft touch and then unwind a shot. Soft touch, hard touch. Change of direction to an instant follow-up. That's one option. Another option would be to use the ball's momentum, play it off the corner, and try and follow it up again. Or you've got obviously double tap, which is the kind of same thing. But the whole point in this is trying to do something that we can follow up ourselves. See how it works out. Yeah, he kind of stays on that. It's moving a bit faster than I thought it was, to be honest. I don't know why Jams hasn't gone back out of the play here as well. Jams has kind of come across and stayed in on low boost while Rugi's pushing up. Jams should have been out and getting his boost and let his teammate come in. Staying on this, absolutely fine. You're in the corner, pressuring, trying to force a player. And we're straight out. Bit of an unfortunate shot that. If he'd have played it anywhere else, I think that was a goal, to be fair. So this describes that traffic light system kind of perfectly, what you did here. So I can guarantee on this play, we've got things going through our head. Is Jams going to turn for this? is the other team going to bang this down this side? So you got to think about possibilities, haven't we? Possibilities that we think. They can try and shoot this. They can try and play this down here. They can soft play this to the boost and try and go up the wall. Everyone's in the same corner. Everything's probably going to come down to this right hand side, isn't it? Jams is on his way back. So we're kind of slowly driving, saving our boosts, and kind of progressing towards this play. You do this really well. So this, I'll move it like this. So this is this kind of amber light. We're waiting. Right. They've hit the ball away from themselves, haven't they? Got a little bit too far away from them. All three of them are here. What colour light's that for us?
It's a green.
Green light. Yeah, we can challenge for this. Jams has gone back. We've got all the information now. All three up like this. Same thing again. All you need to do is beat this. You get a follow-up touch. Nice second touch as well. That's unfortunate.
I went for the double there once, but
I don't mind you going for the double because I wouldn't expect Jams to be up here this quick. You've seen him going for back boost, and you've come into this play quite quick. You play it forward quick. I don't blame you for going for a solo play on this at all because I would not expect him to be going for this from the back corner as fast as that. I think he has every right to, but it's just communication, isn't it? Just unlucky that we just didn't have that 5 boost. If you had that 5 boost, that was it. But this is where I want to cover Jam's mistake here. So again, if you think about this traffic light system, he's jumped at this point, isn't he?
yeah,
He's jumped at this point. The ball's coming here. We can all, think that's going to hit around there somewhere. We can all see that now. He's given himself a green light at this point. He's made an assumption that this is free for him. We don't quite fully know what's going to happen. We know roughly where it's going to be. We can still see you coming across for it. Once he gets to this point, the problem is he still fully commits. This is being slightly on the picky side of things. Once I see you trying to double this, I'm dropping back down and trying to get to the left. It's just unfortunate. I'm going to tell you off here. It's the first bad thing I've seen from you. I like the fact that you try and get his boost. But once this player's went over his head like this, it's going towards your teammate, where should you go?
going out away from the wall, back into the mid, trying to pick up the small pads on my way back instead.
Yeah, exactly right, yeah. I would try and take these diagonal pads. Even though we're not progressing towards the ball and we're rotating back, it's still classed as what we call an amber. Because we can see that there's going to be a challenge here between E and Rugi, and we don't quite know what's going to happen yet. But we can turn in at any point from here. And we can flip back to cover net at any point. If the ball pinches across, we can still turn back at any point. Either way. But this is kind of one of the reasons why we do want to rotate slightly more middle like this, is so that, again, we've got that ability to cover both sides if we need to. Does that make sense? Rather than just coming down this way.
Yeah.
Because if it comes down this way and the ball pinches over your head this way, not only are you going to get your teammates away, but you have what's called a negative hit angle. Your hit angle is going to be like this. If you take this and then meet it further down and turn around, you'll have a much more of what's called a positive hit angle towards the obviously opponent's half. Negative hit angle, obviously, towards your own goal. Little things, little decisions and little things like this will add up. Obviously, we all make mistakes. I've only found one so far. Again, just want to talk about this. Don't mind this positioning, not what you've done. You've taken back post because I've already rotated down this way. Ideally, would have rotated this way and had this kind of approach.
Yeah, ideally I'm on the other side.
But this is just kind of, you've got a very negative hit angle. As much as possible in Rocket League, we want to have our nose pointing the ball at all times. It's a very, very big thing. If I show you a replay of an SSL player, I can guarantee you now their nose is pointing the ball 99% of the time. Unless they obviously... Only times it isn't is either when they're going for boost. They flick the camera off. Or they're going for a musty or something. Pretty much the only time. You do well though, cover it well. And you follow up a second. One thing I do want to address though, I know you did have to avoid this bump, so it kind of messed things up. And this is a positive, by the way. Not a lot of people do this. Is your teammate's not quite back yet, but he's on his way back, isn't he? The speed of the ball's slowed down to, I'd call it a slow pace. I wouldn't call it quite a medium pace. If I do it in the 3 colours, so we've got slow, medium, and fast. So slow pace, touches from the player are probably going to end up roughly in a circle like this. If the ball and the player's at a medium pace, it's probably going to be something like, that's a weird circle, something like that. Fast pace, obviously it opens up a little bit more. So, judging by the speed of the player, we need to judge how far we need to be away from the ball. If the ball's moving very fast, say if it's just pinched off this wall, it's probably going to be easy to be hit again with momentum towards the net. So we need to be still here. The player slows down quite a lot, and you start to close this distance towards this slow pace really well. Really big. I don't know whether you're aware of this, or whether you consciously do this. Is that something you've ever thought about? When it slows down, you close a distance nicely and get in as second man?
It's kind of just natural. If the ball's slow, get close.
Yeah. A lot of people, you'd be surprised how many people don't take that into account or don't even think about it, to be honest. A lot of people get stuck on like rigid positioning and things like that, but you need to be a little bit fluid with everything in Rocket League, situational, isn't it? But yeah, so as second man, it's your job to do what?
Cover what the first man's doing.
Yeah, in essence, yeah, dude. So he's trying to make a play, create, and he's trying to win possession or do something that's going to get you a goal scoring opportunity. Second man's job is to follow up on the play, whatever that requires. But the difference being, you've got to be, well, he's not quite second man, but he is second man in this scenario for them. You've got to beat their second man. So you've got to be at a better distance to the play that's going on than what their second man is. That's how you win as second man. A lot of the times, especially in prospect and things like that, and lower divisions, say if this guy was here just getting this boost and coming back, you'd see one guy sitting here and this guy up here, and he's waiting here because he doesn't want to leave. He wants to play safe, but they've got all this gap, and then they get scored on because their second man's quicker to the ball. So yeah, something you do really well, that this distance. He has to back off because it's just free possession for you. I would love you to see you take so much more time with this. We got like nearly 100 boost, probably 80 boost. What you can do with this, rather than hitting it, He's very good. He's a very good player, especially defensively. Very smart player. I don't know if you've seen much of Spook Luke stuff.
No.
All right, I want you don't watch that many YouTube videos then. Of Rocket League.
Not really, no.
All right, so there's a mistake he's making here. He's kind of coming back this way. He's slightly pointed too far this way, isn't he? He would want to be ideal rotation is boosting along these pads and coming in sort of this way, or even like we said with this amber one, he wants to widen it up a bit in order that if you get a heavy touch like this, he can turn in at any point basically. But what he does, he gives you this ground for free and kind of straightens his approach back up. So we want to take advantage of that as much as possible. An ideal situation for you here, because he's pointed like this, I would like to see you get a soft touch here somewhere. And then either hook around the ball and then start dribbling it and closing the distance. Because we've got to think where the opponents are. Could you remember on this where the two opponents are?
Should both be in our back corner at the moment.
Which back corner?
Our back right corner.
Yeah.
So the direction Reggie's at.
Yeah. There's definitely one there. If I go from my memory, there's going to be one there, and there's going to be one closer to this post here, this post line. Let's see if I'm right on it. One in the back corner, one kind of in the post line. I kind of, yeah, wasn't too far away. But they're both on the right-hand side for us, aren't they?
Yeah.
So by taking this across this side, if we take the ball this side, what's going to happen?
What'd you say?
We're going to get demoed by Brady coming in this way, aren't we? He's rotating back this side.
He's going in that side.
Yeah. So yeah, breaking this down, I'm going quite in detail because I want to try and teach you something. There's a lot that you're doing right, so I want to try and give you something a bit more advanced to sort of cover. But yeah, definitely, rather than just hitting this, and if you can get a good double tap off this and hit it and score it, brilliant. But you're very far away even for a double tap. This needs to be like an air dribble to reset or something like that. It's not. You're just a little bit too far away for something like this. If you were here, that's like your ideal position for a player like this. You could even take this soft touch to the side, make him kind of be awkward and maybe turn, and then go for something over his head and to this side of the goal. Does that make sense why?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would just need to utilise this space a little bit better. Because he's at a big disadvantage, we just need to take the most of it. We kind of just, right in the middle of the goal, see if you can save that. Again, this is good positioning from Murgi. It's aggressive positioning. Where's our teammate at the back? See, I don't know what was commed here. This is the difficult thing.
Pretty much nothing. There was barely any comments during any series I've played with them. Basically just what happens on kickoff, and that's basically it.
And I can see what your idea is in this player. He's going to save this way. We can see that already. I don't think we know that our teammate's there. But we try and follow this up by here. Once we've got this soft touch here, this shot, sorry, and he's got the soft touch to the corner, I wouldn't even go for this. He's already got possession. You've got a couple of options. You can kind of wait middle, see what happens, and then turn out if needed. Because we're still in this danger zone, aren't we? It's fine by us waiting here as second man. He's going to play it to the corner. But I would just wait a second. Or do you use your right stick much when you're playing to check your camera?
Not a whole lot, no.
That would have saved you coming into this corner here.
Yeah, because I had a look, see Ruji's there. Probably could stay mid a bit.
Let's wind it back a bit. Yeah, so once he gets this touch, and even if you're turned here, I can't do it. Is it softer touch that you can do it in? No, it just doesn't. Yeah. Add a touch. Nope. Yeah, but you get the gist. Just one little flick across like that. You see that orange, you know he's there. That's all it takes. Little flick. Okay, my teammate's there. I can stay here then. Because if he gets the win, so it falls back to earlier on, where we don't know where our third man is. We'll pretend he's doesn't exist at the minute. Remember before, when we're on attack, we don't need to worry too much about defending yet. Whose job is covering that half and defending?
That is Jams at the moment.
Yeah, it's our third man, isn't it? The question is, in this scenario that we've got to ask ourselves is, are we first or are we second? So first of all, we need to solve that by our camera flick. Once we see that Rugi's first, and he's going to try and address this ball somewhere in here, the loss, no matter whether it's here or gets pinched across here, is responsibility of our third man. So if the loss is covered by our third man, and he's addressing this in the corner, what do we need to cover?
Going to be covering the middle.
Yeah, we need
Like
we need to cover the win. We need to cover the win on this challenge. So we need to cover this hit off the wall, this hit off the backboard, infield pass, everything. Stay around here just for that split second, and just wait rather than driving into the corner. Or if you, this is going to get a little bit technical now and a little bit situational. Another problem arises from the fact that you're both in line with each other. If Rugi was further, okay, I've changed back to my pencil. If Rugi was further back here, and you cut into this corner, he can take this middle, can't he? So he can just take the second if you do this, which is fine. But because we're both on the same line, this is where the problem comes from. If he was further ahead here, you probably would have seen him. So you would know that you need to stay around this area. But it's just Rocket League angles, isn't it? It's a bit unfortunate. A little bit of a double commit. Great challenge from Jams. I love this. I'll kind of cover this as well. Little bit risky or rotation here. Same kind of thing again. We're coming a bit ball side. Luckily, Jams gets out the way. I would have tried to get demo if I can't. After a double commit, I'd be straight down this emergency lane as fast as possible, picking up pads, trying to see what's going to happen. Because I know that two of us are now out of the play, so I need to cover speed to get back in case this guy goes, especially if this guy goes. You kind of did that, but you did that from here. What I do like about this play, though, is the fact that Jams has recognised he can go and he's not going to give them any of this pitch for free. See, a lot of passive third men that won't challenge this and they'll just try and like shadow it into the corner and stuff. And then this whole team will get all of this pitch for free and the challenge won't come in till down here. And used to are rushing back. By him putting this challenge in, it buys you two time to reposition and regain. And keeps our attacking pressure on by not crossing the halfway line, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Something simple like a challenge in midfield like this can make a huge difference with the FaZe team. I don't know why Rugi's here. Rugi should have just got out of this play. Don't know why. Jams follows on. You come back in second. Why do you score this goal?
There's only one of them in that. Two are up ball side.
Yeah, so firstly, it's a great pass from Jams. Good touch off here, back into here. Where does the ball go? In which zone?
Right.
In our danger zone.
Yep.
Our teammates here, he's now decided that he's going to finally rotate. But we've took this amber light, this 50-50, this neutral position, where we're kind of sideways. But which zone are we in?
It's still in their danger zone.
We're in their danger zone, second man. That's a question mark. Second man. Yeah, so we do everything right. We're in the right position. We're there at the right time. Got the right poise, and we're keeping momentum going slightly, so we can still turn for our green light. He does his job as first man by beating the opponent, creating an opportunity for you. Where the opponents go wrong. Ball's coming this way. Teammates going this way. Both of these are rotating this way. Both of these are coming ball side. It's just a chaos. All three end up in the same spot again. Where you kind of, although he should be like further down, you still kind of got this diagonal rotation going where you can follow each other up. Covering space better. It's much better, and that's why it ends up in the ball. That and the fact Brady didn't jump. But yeah, really well played on that. Good speed, good judgment. Really bad habit of turning into the player.
Yeah.
So kickoffs like this. I'll try and do it so we can get this. This is not too bad actually. Okay. So we think of kickoffs. This is the best way I've seen it broken down. So orange kickoff. Obviously, I don't know how much is commed. The guy's coming this way. He rotates this way. This is his boost. That's the ideal scenario for your kickoff taker, yeah?
Yeah.
Second man following up follows up like this. Your third man, I'll use red because it's easier, follows up this side. To keep things easy and easy to understand, you imagine this line. This red and green line as to whose ball it is. Okay? So once your kickoff taker's taking a kickoff, he's going to go for this boost. Wait, why has Jams gone this side?
Yeah, he has a very weird.
Okay, so, yeah, so if he called that he's going right, he should do on kickoff. Irregardless, this is reverse to what it would normally be, but irregardless, same concept. The reason why you shouldn't ever go right is because if this boost gets stalled, your kickoff taker's still got this boost. Otherwise, if Jams is taking this one, he's going to have to go all the way here. It's like the furthest distance possible. That's why I should never do it. But anyway, I'll continue on what I was saying with this kickoff. So general rule, if your teammate calls he's right, anything on this side of this line is his. Anything that goes high mid, anything that goes back left, anything that goes top left, anything this side is the follower's. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
What you did wrong in this scenario is the ball comes here, it kind of ends up like in this zone. We want to think about what layers we've got. We always want, in threes, we always want 2 layers behind the ball. Jams pushes up to try and address this. So what we should be doing, what I would like to see you do if this goes this side, know that our teammate's on that side and that he's going to get there. Try and steal this boost off him. You do your nice flip, you cheat up really well. But as soon as we see this ball going to right and we see that it's not going to be for us to follow up once it passes this line. Try and grab this boost if you can. Then we're on an amber light from this scenario because we're now second man to Jams. So in this scenario, when this happens, either this is our question mark, this is our amber light. Two scenarios are going to happen. He's going to get beat, isn't he? Or he's going to take control. If he gets beat, we need to obviously get back, don't we? We need to cover this net. We can do that by this pad lane. Or even widen it off. And grab one. If we have time, this. But that's our red light. If we get our green light and our teammate takes possession, we can turn up from here, can't we? And then our third man can get this boost. So kind of on the kickoffs. Especially when you're following up's probably the hardest thing to do on kickoff. To do correctly. So yeah, try and grab their boost. If you can't, turn back in, support this guy. But yeah, trust that if it goes right, and he's called right, let him deal with it. Pretty much what happens anyway, in a nutshell. It just happens a lot slower and a lot more awkward than it needs to be. Because we nearly had a team bump in there. I like the idea of what you're doing here. You come up quite quick though. And then we turn and we do our like little fake challenge, drive challenge here. This isn't going to fake anybody. You're too far away. What's in front of you that's valuable?
The mid boost.
Yep. He might want this, mightn't he?
Yeah, you might be needing that.
I would just slow this down a little bit and creep up. Remember our amber light again. We need to. We know we've got to close the distance. That's a green light. We've got clear instruction that we definitely have to do. Once we get within closing distance, we need to slow down and see what he's going to do with the ball. We don't know what he's going to do with the ball yet, but we want to secure this boost from him. And then slow down. If you want to fake challenge him, close the distance as close as possible. Try and make him throw it away and then come back around this way. I don't know why Rugi's here. To be honest, Rugi, is Rugi like a low champ player?
Yeah, I think he's currently like C1, C2.
All right, that's fine.
He's low one of the team.
Yeah, his positioning is very almost high diamond low champ, where it's kind of like I'm only going to cover the only going to cover the win. Sorry, he's very optimistic with his positioning, and it's going to catch him out a lot. So to cover that, you kind of need to be a little bit more passive, a little bit more safe with our challenges. He booms it away. That's fine for us, isn't it? In an ideal world, Rugi would have been somewhere around here to sort of go for this and pick this up. He should have realised that you were going to try and force him. So you did the right thing. But in this type of scenario, when Rugi's behind you, I would kind of be careful doing this because it might backfire a lot. I would sit back, let he take control, and then maybe close the distance once we've seen him not bang it. But it's kind of like I say, it's very situational. I'd just be careful with it. What's the issue with this player? And it's not to do with the ball side too much, but what is the issue with this player?
Two of us basically in the corner, one of them mid, but the other guy who's back is like middle of the net.
So I understand you going for this. It's valuable you're going for this because he's not back yet. He's not fast enough to get back yet. Jam should never be here. He should be trying to demo this kid. He should be rotating out and coming behind this way, getting himself some boost. Because you've got 2 layers, you've got Yusu dealing with this. The biggest issue with this player
That's negative.
every single one of yous is not only facing towards your own back ball or your own net, you're all overlapping. Like, he's got yous tied up here. Obviously, this doesn't end up in a goal because you cut in quick enough. And he's tried, rather than keeping this close and trying 50 this in the net, he's tried to get this pass off and you've cut it out. Which is really good. But, yeah, so what should have happened in an ideal world? Rugi should never have been right out here and then come back again because he was always in mid. He was too far away. He should have been able to meet this here. That would have stopped you having to come in here. And he quite easily would have been able to position like this with this. You are always going to have negative hit angle when you have to cut back in for your teammate like this. But what this would have allowed you to do is try and demo this guy and come in a little bit more this way. And support him from here with a bit more of a positive hit angle. Same with Jams coming back behind you, or vice versa, even going for this back corner if it's there. Yeah, the biggest, it's all a bit rushed and a bit scrambled and a bit panicky, but the biggest issue is Rugi's slow back. You cut in, absolutely fine. But his positioning is like way away from what it needs to be. And Jam should never be there. You do the right thing. But it's all a bit scrambled and we all end up in the same corner. And nobody's back post. Nobody's covering that. So,
yeah, I've gone for the ball side rather than going back into that back post position.
I love what you do here though. This waiting around middle, snaking around, see what's going to happen. We're on this amber light, see what's going to happen, question mark. Got a teammate back here, teammate on the ball. This is absolutely fine. Like you say, up until the point where this ball comes down here.
Yeah.
Remember when we talked about it on attack, if we're second man and we're in the middle. What are you trying to cover here? The win or the loss? On this challenge.
I'm trying to cover the win.
Trying
Jams is covering the loss.
Same as on attack. What happens if the loss happens? Whose job is that to cover?
It's third man's.
Third man's. Yeah. Same scenario. Have faith that your teammate's going to be there. If this ball gets knocked back into this corner, like you say, rotate back around. Come back post. If you need to, cut front post. Absolutely fine if he's not there. But once we get around to this point, because what we've got to think, we've got more time than what we think. They've hit this away from themselves. It's going hard in at the corner. They're not going to be able to shoot from this. It's not that much of a danger, is it?
No.
So we've got a little bit of a time to rotate ball side and assess the situation. There's not that much of a rush. Yeah, we kind of lose all our momentum. So it's not bad, but higher players will notice that and will take advantage of it. Good 50 from Rugi there. This is again about that closing that distance, getting there quickly. That was really good from him actually. Get our boost. Where's Jams turning back?
I have no clue. I think he wanted boost.
He's got
But he's on.
70, 80, just like literally just follow this pad lane up. follow your teammate up and then transition into the middle. Like this is a great scenario. Like, he's been beaten. Some guy, one of the other teammates is in Narnia, and Brady's back, last man. Perfect. We want Brady back, last man. He's the worst at saving on this team. It's ideal. Why would we not want to take advantage of this? Demo E. Yeah, slightly strange decision to not only turn back, then boost back where boost isn't there. Or wasn't there. So you go forward quite well. We've taken second man now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Where do we want to be?
You're going to be getting into that mid.
Yep.
Third end. Yeah.
Perfectly right. We want to be in this middle zone. Same thing again. But we try and get to this middle zone. Oh, he's there. Piece of candy. Love it. Nom nom. Get him out the game. Open net. No matter what happens with this ball, the only way you don't score from this, if Brady takes his 50 in this corner and doesn't buy his time, and you demo him, is if the ball gets badly beat down this way. Any other scenario, it bounces down here, down here, down here, down here. You can cover that. Very, very advantageous. Although Jam should have been doing that. This is why we don't score this. We're more here, and this 50 comes in. That's free. Little double, unfortunate. Oh, that's just 3 unfortunate mistakes. He should be scoring that. He is a challenger, should be putting that on target all day.
I got very lucky. I jumped to avoid the demo and try and save, and then backflip to barely get it.
These chalk this play so much. Alright. Yes, it's a bit of a hard angle. But like, he can shoot this. I've seen him shoot this. Brady's going for a demo on you. Like, luck should never be here. Never in a million years. He gets a bad touch. Has to go for that ball. Nearly scores it. But now they're all overcommitted and 2 of them in your net. He's on 0 boost. How did you not score from this?
I don't know. I think Ruji misses.
Oh, he gets a little touch.
And then I think B continues.
Yeah, he gets this little touch. Good play by him, to be honest. It's unfortunate for you. This is fine. This is bad. So this is what's called preemptive turning. Remember our amber light? We're driving up, amber light. We can turn into this neutral position. Let me see if I can remember which keyboards this is. Yeah, okay, 25. At the moment of contact, what's the problem with our positioning?
I am facing on it.
What kind of hit angle have we got?
That negative hit angle.
Negative hit angle. We've preemptively turned for this loss, this red light. If we'd waited in this neutral position on our amber light, do you think we could have jumped for this?
Chances are we may have been able to. Though I have to predict that Lux isn't going to jump and try and get a touch.
I think 100%. I think you're more than capable to jump from here and either 50 or beat him on this. 100%. Like, the only way you get badly beat in this scenario is if he shoots it from there on net really hard. If you're in your neutral position, you can still cover that. The fact that we've preemptively covered this takes our win option away. It means that we can't go for it, but then what do? We turn back around here. And then we handbrake at front post, lose all momentum. Luckily, Jams is in the corner and they play it straight to him off a free possession for some reason. It works out in your favour. This is literally the only reason why they didn't score this is because Brady was just not good in this situation. They had so much time and space to do much more with that ball. But yeah, just be careful. And once he gets that big hit and you haven't jumped for it, you know to go. You can even cut back front post. Front post to be the most ideal on this is exactly where you were. But we want to do that with speed and momentum rather than handbraking and stopping. So what you did wasn't too bad. But it's like, do you remember what I said before about instead of the challenge going in here, where we could have 50'd it in the air, the challenge goes in by our teammate here. We've given them this ground for free there. Your teammates were on the way back. Just have faith in them that they're going to get back. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We already know that Jams is going to be on his way back. Yes, Rugi's out the player. But without this preemptive turn, you could have beat him well and truly out of this play. But it shuts the play down in midfield. Reddy and Lux would have both been overcommitted and he would have been on his own again. And you've got Rugi there. What could Rugi have done?
He could have been down the Rugi.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of like what you've done isn't a bad play, but it's not the most optimal play. It's lucky that it worked out, but it could have been a 2 or 3v1 against you in that scenario, or because we're a little bit passive in that a little bit defensive in that turn. I'm going very in depth and breaking it down and really analysing it because I know you're a good player and I want to obviously try and give you something to sort of help you. But I mean, you're still winning the game. This little scenario here, we miss a couple of pads, absolutely fine. What else is nearby?
Yeah, the mid boost is there.
Yeah, so we're in what position?
Third man here.
We're third man. Third man is an opportune moment. Grab our boost. Get this 100. These two are going to deal with this. They're on the ball. We've got our first man, or what was our first man and our second man. We're third. We're covering the loss. So you got time to grab this boost. Steal it off them. I don't know why Lux didn't grab it. But when you're rotating back, no matter be this way, we always want to be checking for these two. We kind of drive around for a little bit and we eventually go for this one. Can you see how inefficient that was? We started off here, went down here, come back this way, missed these two pads, and then come here. We didn't get 100 boost until here. Could have been in there and turned up. Which one do you think's faster?
Thanks.
Yeah, 100%. 100% more efficient. And it would have been a lot more relevant. So now we're stuck third. We've kind of given up the rotation. Good speed on the jump. Nice. This kind of, no matter whether there's an opponent or not, this kind of speed is what you need in midfield. This will win you games. Straight up, no hesitation. A little bit of an unfortunate touch and they get demoed. So the problem is, so Jams has now gone for this. We're both involved in this play. Brady gets a good beat. This is like panic stations, isn't it? What do we need to do now? What's the most opportune thing?
Straight back on the line of birds.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah. Ideal scenario. So you can see by the trajectory of the ball's coming this way. Who's there? He's there. He can turn for this and have a shot. It's highly unlikely that we're going to get there. We've got a teammate. I think he's just off camera, which is boost. He's at the moment, he's high boosting. He's boosting down towards this way. But yeah, exactly right. You want to be getting back straight here as fast as possible. See what side teammate spawns. Yeah, it's not far off. Right rotation, wrong line. 3 pads here, 36 boost that we missed out on. Yeah, slightly weird play from Jams, but it works. Very panicked this from these. So we got one pressure in the play. Rugi's just come in. One coming back post. Jams should just come behind you at this point. You can see why he stays in. But like that's not a positive hit angle he's got on the ball, is it?
No.
You're in position. Oh no, we're not. We're faced backwards. All of your team's got a negative hit angle again. You do well though. You do very, very well with it, to be honest. Same kind of thing. Jams doesn't play this second role quite well.
No.
He's got no boost, but he should be going up this pad lane, shouldn't he? Even if he's got a low boost. They don't know we've got no boost. Nice position. We've preemptively turned, haven't we?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing in this. This is weird. It's unfortunate. Good challenge from Jams in midfield. Nice bump attempt. Unfortunately, our teammate's too far. Much better. We come out of the play. We grab our boost. So this is a little bit more advanced again. Once we see this touch go high to this wall, you want to be flipping out the way of this. You know that you can see this trajectory already. What's the ball going to do?
Either down or mid.
It's going to bounce off this wall, or it's going to bounce off this roof. All of it. It's going to come back here somewhere, isn't it? Roughly. It's going to come somewhere back in this area. What's our biggest issue at the moment?
I am facing an open net.
We've got this negative hit angle. How do we turn a negative hit angle to a positive hit angle on defense? I want you to be speed flipping straight away. Soon as you see this ball going in a position where it's hittable for them to score or shoot, instinctively straight away I want to see you speed flipping, and then you can get your turn to get a more positive hit angle.
I'm not sure I know how to play speed flip.
Even a diagonal flip will do. Even if you don't have the time to do this, because this is quite fast, worst case scenario, you can even turn this way and come back post here and get this positive hit angle. See how we kind of turn here to try and follow this up? And then that's what catches us out. It's this S shape. So what we did is we still preemptively turned, but we preemptively turned for the win. We assumed this ball was going to be ours to hit, and when it wasn't, we then had to turn back, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we kind of made this little decision here is what gives this free net open. Instinctively, if you'd have went straight here, because this ball's awkward. Okay, instinctively, defense. I need to make sure the net's covered. It should be a first thing. You might have had a better opportunity of saving this, or even getting the rebound. Oh, that's fortunate. That's lucky, to be fair. It kind of debunks everything I've just said, though, but you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying. If a weird touch like that happens, straight away, our first instinct should be, I need to defend. Because let's see this from your point of view. We can see our two teammates out of net. We can see them both in front of us. If both our teammates are in front of us, what position are we?
We are the third man.
Yep. What's our only responsibility as third man on defense?
Cover the loss.
Cover that net. Cover the loss. We kind of, this little hesitation of trying to go for it. Yeah, we can possibly get hit. But it's not always going to happen. We play for percentages. It's not always going to be there. Sometimes this will work out in your favour. He'll get a bad touch and you can follow it on and you probably score for it. But 75% of the time, against decent players, they're going to put this on target. Covered more still. We've got a few things to work on. I think we've definitely got 3 things to work on for you. We'll kind of just go through this last bit a little bit quicker. That's a great ground pinch shot. Neutral position. Teammate's on his way back. Rugi gets a good touch. He doesn't hit it. We follow it up nicely. Nice neutral position. Nice distance to follow up. All the boxes are ticked down there. Great follow up and a great goal for me. Nice follow up. I like this. You're covering more the left side, but remember what we said. We want to be grabbing this.
Yeah, good for the other bits.
Yeah, so Lux is probably going to get the right one, but we want to make sure one player is slow back. Give our team as much as possible. Grab this mid boost. He won't go right the way down here for this one. If he does, he's stupid. He's slowing himself down even more. He has to pick little pads then, doesn't he? Who's covering the right hand side? Rugi's already there with boost. His teammates on the ball. So yeah, we cover mid. Unfortunate. This is a lovely rotation in from Jams. Perfect. Ends up in a goal. We rotate out of the play. Go for our boost. Done.
Apparently I didn't want that boost.
Yeah, didn't like that one. Didn't need it anyway. But yeah, this is exactly the same thing. They haven't got a back post. The back post is too far out. They've rotated slowly. We've got a guy middle. Gets a goal. It's like, he's going to be a weird analogy. So getting goals and playing well in threes is like a cake. Like making a cake. Need all the ingredients in order. Need everything, all our checklist done. If one of them things aren't in place, our cake's going to go flat. It's going to come out looking like a soggy biscuit in it. It's going to look horrible. We're not going to want it. Our teammates in the corner, we're in middle, we've got boost. They're struggling, low boost. All these boxes are ticked, all our ingredients are in the ball. It's going to make a lovely cake in it. But a nice goal. Good cover from teammate. I would commit to this boost. Leave this ball for your teammate. I would still grab this and then rotate back around this way. It kind of get a little bit awkward, but yeah, I would definitely secure this because you don't want the opponents to have this, especially after a kickoff. And then we can come back and rotate. Although awkward this way. It'd still be awkward, but would, you know, be a lot better positioned than where we were. I think you were just very awkward. Yeah. It's got very awkward, but yeah, definitely stick to this boost. Go backboard if you need to on that scenario. Just try and keep that momentum up and try and just come behind. The right decision though. Nice play to wait here. Good dodge from Betty as well. Good pressure. Waiting in that middle zone. Great turn. Waiting in that middle zone. See if our teammate gets it. Right, what colour light have we got now? This ball's coming this way.
You get the green.
Yeah, don't even have to tell you anymore now.
Okay, fuck it up.
Ah, you got a touch.
Oh no.
It's good defence.
Yeah. But he gets on me.
What's the problem with our rotation?
I'm on the ball side.
Yep. We need to get back as fast as possible. Where do we go? Straight down one of these path lanes as fast as possible, yeah. Jump. Jumps his first one. Ah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, the play happens. It's just an overcommit from Rugi, to be honest. This is why it happens. Because Jams is not back yet. He should have just tried to wait. Although I think if Jams speed flips here, he gets this. He front flips and doesn't boost. Unfortunate. Definitely savable, but yeah, unfortunate. That was just an overcommit on Rugi's part. Nice pass. Good save as well. Again, what have we done wrong here in this scenario?
We had preemptive return to the loss.
I'm gonna rewind it back. I want you to tell me when you think you should turn back forward now. So if we go back from this save, you stop. You say stop when you think you should turn back up towards this field.
Yeah. This is a little touch goes to E.
I'll show you when you should have turned here. Soon as you get this boost, we've got a question mark over here, haven't we? We don't know what's going to happen with this ball yet. We've got a teammate challenging it, so what do we need to do? We need to get in our neutral position.
Yeah.
Our neutral position, wait, see what happens. Okay, soft touch. Go, go, go. Close that distance. We can put a challenge in, we can 50 this here. See, we kind of give him this ground for free. So a little bit more optimally. So this just falls down to that second man thing. Bit of work as second man here. So Rugi takes first again, doesn't he? Teammate's a bit far back. I don't know why he's facing backwards and why he's not involved in this play. But as soon as you grab this boost, you can do our thing. Flick camera, right, he's back. Okay, I need to stay close to second man donor. Get towards this mid zone. Okay, he hasn't got it. Right, I need to be pressuring this. What's the problem with their positioning?
No, bunched together.
Yeah. All bunched together, all trying to go for the same ball. But yeah, a little preemptive turn here and turn back and kind of giving this distance. Not necessarily a bad thing, but the reason why you get poor touch on this is because you lose all momentum. But yeah, definitely. Should have went in a little bit earlier. Again, on this, I don't know whether just playing slightly defensive because it's the end of the goal. End of the game. What position are we now on this player?
A little bit too far back.
Exactly the point I was going to make. Yeah, a little bit too far back as second man. We can get a little bit further at this player. Then this will be a nice double tap attempt. We get 50 because we're just that tiny bit too far back. And
I think then I was thinking, I've just got to put this down.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you are doing right. Generally, rotationally, actual like awareness, you're pretty good. You know you're an intelligent player. You're good with your touches. You know what you're doing. One or two moments where we could have maybe took more time, but the biggest things we noticed, we need to avoid this ball side rotation. One of the biggest habits we need to break. The only time I want you to see you ball side rotating is if you can add something valuable to the player, like a boost steal or a demo. The second point I want you to focus on is this preemptive turn. Try to get out of the habit of already accepting the loss, especially when someone's behind you. Get yourself in that neutral position and just wait to see the outcome. You'll be surprised how many balls you can still get back to, even if they bang it close to one net. But if you've got that man behind you, you can cover the win on the outcome as second man. And the last thing is, make sure we're close enough as second man in that middle area. Make sure we're following up as second man correctly. Does that all make sense?
Yep.
Happy with everything?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me before I finish the recording?
Yes.
Go on.
Do you want to play threes?
Yeah, we can have some games. Yeah, definitely. I'll finish off this recording. I'll type it up because I type it up in our thing. Just listing a couple of things that I want us to work on, and we'll get some games in.
Yep.